Okay, so we've defined what a polygon is. Now we're going to talk about classifying polygons. So this table is a nice just reminder of how we're going to classify polygons based on the number of sides. So we've got a triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon for 5, hexagon for 6, heptagon for 7. That's a little goofy. That's not really used a whole lot. Heptagons are pretty rare. Octagons are fairly common. Nonagon is 9 sides. Decagon is 10 sides. Dodecagon is 12 sides. So I don't have a name for an 11-sided figure. So any kind of figure that doesn't have these names, just classify it as an n-gon. So if something has a 27 sides, I would just call that a 27-gon. I don't have any fancy names for that. So even these names, mainly you're going to want to know triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon, everything basically up to 10 is the naming you're going to want to know for these polygons. So this next example talks about classifying it by the number of sides, and then we're going to define equilateral, equiangular, and regular, okay? So just first with this polygon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. So this is an octagon. All right, I'm going to write octagon over here and give myself some space. This is an octagon. Now, some definitions for equilateral. A polygon is equilateral if all of its sides are congruent, okay? So before I write anything down, you see how each side is marked with the same marking? That means all 8 of these sides are congruent. So this polygon is equilateral. I'm going to put a check mark next to it, say, yeah, it's equilateral. Equiangular is the same thing, but with angles. So you see how all these angles have the exact same marking? All these angles have the exact same marking, so this polygon is also equiangular. And then finally with regular, a polygon is regular if it is equilateral and equiangular at the same time. So since this polygon is equilateral and equiangular, it is regular, okay? So it is possible for polygons to have all the sides be congruent, but not the angles. On the flip side, it's possible for a polygon to have all the angles be equal without all the sides being equal, okay? So we say regular, it is both. It's both equiangular and equilateral. So moving ahead, we're going to put that definition of regular to use. So this talks about the head of a bolt, and it's shaped like a regular hexagon. So that means a hexagon, a 6-sided shape, where all of its sides are congruent and all of its angles are congruent. So these expressions show the side lengths of the bolt. We want to find the length of one of the sides. So knowing that it's regular, we know that this side and this side are congruent, meaning I can take 5x minus 1, that expression, and set it equal to the expression for the other side length. And then that's an equation I can solve. So it's knowing that these are equal in length. So for me to solve this, I would subtract 4x from both sides. 4x's cancel. X minus 1 equals 3. Add 1 to both sides. X is 4. Now that's nice, but I asked, find the length of one side, meaning I have to substitute in. And you might be thinking, well, which one do I substitute into? The nice part about a problem like this, since these are regular shapes, since this is a regular shape, it doesn't matter. I substitute 4 into either one of these expressions, I will get the same result. So I'm just going to substitute it into the 5x minus 1. So I'm going to use a different color for that. 5 times 4 minus 1 is 20 minus 1. So one of the side lengths is 19 millimeters. And you can go ahead and you can try. Substitute 4 into this one. It'd be 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 3, this would also come out to be 19 millimeters. So that's the nice part about it being regular, is that all the sides are the same length, right? So in this guided practice, same as the last 2 examples, take a minute, pause the video, work through them, and then I'll explain through the solutions. All right, so to explain these guided practice problems, the first one, I'm going to classify this polygon by the number of sides. So basically, look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. It is a quadrilateral, all right? That is a quadrilateral. for what we're going to do now, quadrilateral works. I know it looks like a trapezoid for some of you, but it's okay to classify this as a quadrilateral right now. And then we look at equilateral, equiangular, or regular. Well, first I look at equilateral, because sides, I think those are usually easy to compare. When I look at the sides, only these two sides are congruent. The other two sides are not marked as congruent. So this polygon is not equilateral. Then we move on to seeing if it's equiangular, okay, equiangular. So these markings, there's a single marking on each of these angles, a single or double marking on each of these angles, meaning this is not equiangular because not all four angles are the same measure as each other. So these two angles are congruent and these two are congruent, but they are not congruent to each other. So if this polygon is not equilateral and it's not equiangular, then it can't be regular, okay? So we would just classify it as a quadrilateral, right? So it's important that we notice the markings have to be identical for all four sides for it to be equilateral, all angles for it to be equiangular. Then the final one, we're taking our example from this bolt, this regular hexagon, but we're saying the angles, the congruent angles. So I'm giving these two expressions for the measures of the angles. I set those expressions equal to each other. I solve for x, so I subtracted 4x from both sides. That's how I got x. And then I added 5 to both sides. That's how I got 13. And I just plugged into 4x plus 8. If you plugged into 5x minus 5, hopefully you still got 60 degrees. So the measure of that angle is 60 degrees. Remember, you got the tendency to just solve for x and think that you're finished, because that was a lot of the problems we did last year. But it's important that we understand when I ask for the measure of an angle and I give you expressions like this, you've got to take that measure or that value for x to substitute and find your measure of that angle, right? So now I think you guys are ready for the practice. Make sure you're careful with the language on the practice and how you're describing things.